Sonny, Joey, 500. Got some goats in the building.
Get ready for a shakedown.
Prepare for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy. Kinda used to all the hate now. Prepare for it, man. Y'all get it. My QB got swag. My wideout is award winning. These fly Eagles fly. Joey and 500. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown.
It's
Here
a
comes the shakedown.
Let's go.
Yo, by the way, kick dig back here. And welcome to the Philly Shakedown podcast with Philly 501 Joey Shakes. Joey, what is happening, my man?
Not much, man. We're getting close. Just pretty much a few days away from free agency, and obviously deals are getting made from teams, and everyone's getting prepared to make things official. And since we last talked, the Eagles have made a couple things official and done some things so far, and not done yet. So,
oh no, not done at all. And what is going on, everybody? Sorry we're late. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are good to go now. MJ, what's up? Chizzy, Landlord, Little G Griffith, Dave Dust. What is happening? CZ, Twitch, Jonas. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it so much. I know there's a lot of people here. Justin Davis Super Chat. He goes, Slay doesn't think Hurts is a top 5 quarterback. What the F? Yeah, I know. We'll probably get into the whole Slay thing as it goes on. You know, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Slay. I feel like he's lighting fires on the way out or something. Skid Marks. Thank you for the super chat. He goes, hello, fellows. What's going on, buddy? How are you doing, my man? So let's jump right into it. Let's start with the most important thing that we said was the main biggest thing that had to be done. Number one priority, that if this happened, everything else was pretty much icing on the cake. And I truly believe that's the truth. And that is the Eagles sign All-Pro Zack Baun to a 3-year, $51 million contract, including $34 million guaranteed, and signing an additional $1.5 million in incentives and escalators. The contract instantly makes Baun one of the highest paid linebackers. Joey, instant reaction. Well, a couple days. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it was expected. It was even much better, even for hearing from Jeremy Fowler, that this was like the most important move the Eagles wanted to make. This was in the works as the first, like the one they want to take care of first before anything. And thank God, because sometimes, we think differently, but, in our regard to the situation, they felt the same. And your championship defense is back, and you just got to add to it now. This was really the big part of it because, you let Zack Baun walk, then it's, the draft would probably be a big priority when it came to linebacker. And, with Ben Van Simmeren coming off the knee and not really starting as a linebacker for us, and the Kobe Dean going to be out and not really much else there. Yeah, I was hyped. I was really hyped over it.
It's a very important move. Howie recognizes when guys are important to the team, and Baun was very important to his team with Dean's injury, where just the thinness at linebacker. You needed him to be signed, and now to me you set the stage for you still need a pass rusher, because I don't know that Josh Sweat returns, so you're going to need a pass rusher. But to me, your championship defense is pretty much intact. I think that, look, I like Josh Sweat, but I also think the emergence of Jalen Hunt in the playoffs, I think the emergence of Nolan Smith in the playoffs, and I'm going to say this, people think I'm crazy, but the emergence of Jordan Davis in the playoffs. Now, I just saw a video on Jordan Davis. He was being interviewed, and he looks like he lost 15 pounds, 20 pounds since Super Bowl, and he was talking about how he's doing a new workout and he's actually starting to get abs. Like, I think he's getting in really good conditioning. I think Jordan Davis turned a corner during the playoffs, and I think we're going to see a much better Jordan Davis next year, in my opinion.
Hope so.
JD3, David Super Chat, he goes, what do you guys think about bringing in defensive line coach from Georgia, Phil? My holes. Go Birds. Nah, I think we're good. I like Clinton Hurt. I like Clinton Hurt. I like who we got there, man, and I'm very happy that a lot of our defensive coaches are returning. No doubt about it. Chris Melnick, thank you for the super chat. He goes, Trey is coming. Myles not, unfortunately, but here comes DJ Reed for the next cornerback, but could move up to a safety. Well, there's so many things that can happen, with the draft and stuff. But being that you talked about Hendrickson, let's go right into this. So Adam Schefter's reporting that Bengals have taken the step and granted defensive end Trey Hendrickson permission to seek a trade. It's been an honor and privilege to represent Cincinnati over the last 4 years. The NFL sack leader said, I love the city, organization, blah, 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 blah. Most important thing is, apparently it's being reported that they're asking for a late second or a third round pick. I don't know how possible Myles Garrett is, but what are your thoughts on Hendrickson now being in the mix, really?
Yeah, I mean, it becomes pretty attractive because, I mean, this is a guy that's, he's had over 30 sacks in 2 seasons. And I know, like, the Bengals want somewhat of a premium pick for him if he can go get it. If it's a late second to a third, I think that's fair from all what's going on with Myles Garrett right now with a potential holdout. The Browns seem like they're in a standstill, really seem like they're not going to move him. They don't even want to move him at all. And the last thing you want to do at 30 years old is have to hold out. But if you have no choice, that's what you got to do. But Trey Hendrickson, obviously 30 years old, but you won't have to give up more than probably what you're going to probably give up for Myles Garrett. So I know Eagle fans are probably going to be back and forth on the age. It might want to go for somebody younger, but for a late second to a third, I think that's a steal for the Eagles.
Right. So. And we'll jump right into it because you spoke of a guy younger, and I'm kind of just putting all the guys kind of out there that are in front of us right now, guys. So here's another option that has emerged. The Titans released linebacker Harold Landry. We talked about Landry a few years ago about trading for him. Now he is getting released. So we've gone to a real expensive option in Myles, to a lesser expensive option, to a guy who's actually a younger and cheaper option. What are your thoughts about Landry being thrown into this mix?
Yeah, Landry's had good seasons. Like, I think, he could play off ball. He could definitely rush on the edge. I think the only time he really was injured, I mean, he has the injury history with I think he missed the 22 season, I believe, with an ACL, I think, something like that. So, but he's 28. He's a little bit younger, and you don't have to trade for him. He's a free agent, so you don't have to trade for him.
He's 28 years old.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think he's another great option. I do, So yeah, I mean, the one thing that is clearly emerging right now as we get ready for free agency this week coming up, the Eagles have options. It's not just Myles Garrett or bust. You have Hendrickson. You now have Landry, and then of course you have guys like Sweat and guys like that. Kenny, thank you for super chat. Did you all see the last mic'd up? I did. Yep. And speaking of guys that are potentially out there, guys, I want you to take a look at this right here.
Myles is an interesting name. Could he end up in Philly?
That's the question. Well, the Eagles are one of the favorites to land him. Now, do I think it's personally going to happen? I kind of don't, but a lot of people do. They think it could actually happen. You got the Lions plus 225, the Niners plus 250, then the Eagles plus 300, and then somehow you got the Cowboys creeping up there at plus 325. Like, that's going to happen. But if you like that or you want to check out some other stuff, go over to BetUS where you get 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit, 125% on your next 2 deposits, up to a $2,000 maximum. All you got to do is use promo code YouTube150 and you can get 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit, 125% on your next 2 deposits, up to a $2,000 maximum. Go check it out. All right, and that's BetUS, and I really, really hate the new keys and stuff on StreamYard. It doesn't work the way it used to. It's a pain in the butt, and I'm not used to it. Yeah, but shout out to BetUS. Definitely check that out. Now, I'm going to tell you right now that there are other options. We've talked about the top 3. You know, then there is Bosa. He's available. Khalil Mack sounds like he may be an option. I don't want anything to do with Bosa.
Same.
I don't. I would rather have Mack over Bosa.
And Mack's been a name that's been thrown around a little bit, not only to the Eagles, but Washington. His name's been thrown around a lot. So we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. Jonathan Cook, David Super Chat goes, how about re-signing Hargrave to a 1-year veteran minimum? I don't know. I mean, I don't think Hargrave is going to want to take I don't know if he's going to want to take a 1-year veteran minimum. I really think that I'm kind of past the Hargrave. I've kind of moved on. I mean, I think you got Ujomo. I think you've got, Jordan Davis, obviously Carter, and then, Milton Williams, I'm assuming is going to go. But if you look at this draft, it's so deep in defensive linemen. I think you could get another guy to come in and be effective through the draft. So I think I would pass on Hargrave. Yeah, in my own personal opinion. I appreciate what he did. I liked him, but he's not going to start here. And he's probably going to start. D. Hart Williams, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, it seems like the Eagles can be a dominant pass rusher, which makes our defense Super Bowl elite fighters. Look, I think what we're talking about is adding a pass rusher, a elite pass rusher. Well, Myles Garrett, I would say, is elite. Then Hendrickson, is too. But you're talking about adding these guys to a Super Bowl defense, a Super Bowl championship defense. So to me, you're already good enough to win the whole thing. Now it's just wow, you're that much better, and I think you can become very dominant. I pretty much feel like they're going to get somebody. It's just a matter of who. I mean, you got Garrett, you could get Hendrickson, you could get Landry, you could bring back Josh Sweat, you could get Khalil Mack if he wants to take a kind of a backseat role. I don't know what's going on with the Jaguars. They traded Christian Kirk to the Texans. So are they selling? Are they going to sign 2 pass rushers to over $30 million plus? Or is what's his face going to be? Javon Walker going to be available?
Yeah, I mean,
we're going to see.
Jonathan Allen, too. That's a name everyone's been talking about as well because he just got released today. So.
He just got released, too. Yeah. So, we'll see. I know the Cowboy fans are flipping out about him. Welcome to Digbat Nation, buddy. Thank you so much for joining. Roll Philly Dog says, I'd rather have Jonathan Allen over Hargrave. Yeah, I would probably do that, too. I would agree with that. But I mean, to me, I would rather have Milton Williams over both of them. So if we're going to go down that route, give me Milton Williams. Mm-hmm. Dirty D, David Super Chat, he goes, Hargrave can take the veteran minimum and San Fran would be on the hook for the remaining money. Oh, okay, because they owe money. Gotcha. Yeah, I like I said, I think that I really think I stick with the younger guys, man. I would just stick with the younger guys and let them play. Notorious, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, Trey is not a huge downgrade from Myles. Very, very underrated. I give a third. Landry, more like a linebacker edge guy that Vic likes. needed running back, safety, cornerback, offensive line in the draft. Agreed. I actually pretty much agree with you. I don't think he's that much of a downgrade of Myles. I think Myles is better, but I think he's really good. And then Landry is a guy that you would think Vic would like. So I mean, to me, I would go Myles Garrett option 1, Hendrickson 2, and Landry 3. That would be my 3 in order. But Landry's not going to cost you a draft pick. That's what I like about that.
I mean, I would even do like Trey Hendrickson, Landry, even Khalil Mack at this point. If Myles Garrett is totally out of it and this thing can, I mean, who knows? The Eagles might not even hit on this, and this Myles Garrett thing might, it might unveil probably during training camp, or this might be a long, just a long off season. I don't know if you have a player that's mentally not there. I don't know why you're just gonna, like Myles Garrett. So like he tried contacting Browns ownership. Ownership wouldn't even like answer his phone calls. What is that? Oh yeah.
Let me show you guys this, right? So the Pound Browns star Myles Garrett recently requested a meeting with owner Jimmy Haslam, who declined to speak to Garrett amidst the trade request per sources. Both sides are dug in. Cleveland refuses to even discuss a trade, while Garrett is preparing to miss games if not traded. When you're not even talking, it's over. It's over. I mean, the owner won't even talk to him. I think that's absurd, dude. So I don't think Garrett's going to make. I don't see how they're not going to trade him. But what they're going to do is they're going to wait, and they're going to destroy his trade value. His trade value doesn't come like in training camp. You know what I'm saying? Like if you wait till let's say training camp and then you give up and you trade him, you lose all the value. You've got to trade him now. So they're going to wind up losing all their leverage if they wait. They have to trade him, or it's gonna get ugly in Cleveland, which is always ugly in Cleveland because it's Cleveland. Let's be honest.
It might.
But yeah, Army member for 53 months. Thanks so much. What up, fellas? What a huge move! What huge move do you think we'll make this offseason? I think it'll be a pass rusher. I think we're looking at a pass rusher. I mean, there's some things I want to talk about that I don't think will happen that has been talked about a lot. But I think the move is actually a pass rusher. What do you think?
No, I agree. I mean, I think you're a team right now that's just won a Super Bowl. You could sit real high right now where there's going to be a lot of players that probably are going to want to play here. And when you play well here, you get rewarded. But this is the perfect free agency trade off season. This is the perfect moment because there's so many different pass rushers out there, from guys that are in their 30s, from trades to free agents. I mean, there's a diverse group of a bunch of guys the Eagles can go after. I think it definitely fits us where we're at right now and our needs right now. So I think you need 2 pass rushers actually. Like I think if you could get a guy in free agency and then a guy in the draft. That's how I would do it, Clark, thank you for the super chat. He goes, thoughts on what could happen with Huff? Well, the thing with Huff is they can't move him till after June 1st. They use both of their June 1st. You get 2 you can claim 2 moves after June 1st moves before June 1st. They used them on Bradbury and Slay. So they're not going to be able to do any June 1st stuff until after June 1st. So if they want to move him or cut him, it's got to be then, because right now I think they're going to eat I don't know, like $13 million or something ridiculous if they cut him or get rid of him before June 1st. So I don't see anything happening to him until at the earliest June 1st, but I think he's going to end up being on the team this year. I don't think he's going to. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they might get 1 pass rusher, but will this, block them from making a younger move in this draft? Because realistically, I think you're going to, depending on other positions, you might take a swing at tight end. You might take, you're going to get an offensive lineman. And we'll be talking about corner in the stream as well. So there's a lot of different things rolling right now, but we'll see.
Right. Just right. David Super Chat goes, do you think we'll get TJ Watt one day?
No,
I mean,
not.
I don't foresee it anytime soon. Maybe at the end of his career, he becomes a free agent or something. I mean, I don't think Pittsburgh has any motivation to move him at all. So, I mean, and then you look at what Crosby just got signed. Apparently, the Raiders declined an offer for DK Metcalf and Geno Smith for Crosby. So, you know, if they value him like that, just think about how expensive these pass rushers are going to be, though. I mean, that's the one thing. They're going to be expensive. D. Hart Williams, thank you for the super chicken 500. I agree with your top three. Yes, my man. Yes. Drew Down, thank you for super chicken. Seen a report that the Eagles haven't been in touch with Becton. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a real possibility that they can move on from him. You know, they got Steen, they've got Keegan, you know, and they got Stoutland. So it is possible. I would like to see Becton come back, but I actually think he comes back only if they view him as a right tackle in the future. And if they don't, I don't think he comes back, to be honest with you. Yeah. I like Becton, but you know, it's hard to do everything, you know. The important one was Baun, though. Yeah. There's a few other things, you know, like rumors out there with things that I don't think are going to happen. One, I'm so sick and tired of seeing this A.J. Brown to the Patriots thing. Like, where the hell is this coming? Like, there's no chance. Like, I understand speculating, looking at a guy's contract, saying, all right, this might be coming up, and you know, looking at something like that. But A.J. Brown is signed through 2029, and, you know, they just won the Super Bowl. Like, I don't see where the angle of A.J. Brown, the Patriots, comes from. I think that's totally ridiculous.
I mean, I know they've been trying to shop for a wide receiver one, but I mean, I could probably believe that maybe the call was made, but they just wasted their time. But
now DK Metcalf, I heard that they're interested in, which makes sense. And if I was DK Metcalf, I would not want to go there at all.
No,
at all. Mm-hmm. And then the other one that, to me, I'm just not getting or buying, and I know this has been reported by Jeff McClain and others, but I don't get it, is that the Eagles are going to cut Dallas Goedert this year. That they're going to look to cut him. It doesn't make a bit of sense to cut him. He's like $9 million you're going to take a $9 million hit unless you do it after June 1st, which to me would indicate you're going to have a giant hole at tight end unless you're going to go out and trade for a guy like Kyle Pitts or somebody like that. Then I would understand. But as of the team and the roster they have right now, it doesn't make any sense for me, in my opinion, to get rid of Goedert.
No, I mean, he's I think before, I think it's like 11.8 or something like
11.8.
Yeah,
it's even higher than I thought.
It's a big number. So he's got no more guaranteed money in this contract. So the best thing that they could probably do is just redo his deal for this year, because after the season, you're losing Goedert and you're losing Calcaterra. So you're going to be totally empty at this position regardless by next year. We know the Eagles have been looking at tight ends in the draft. We heard about that Mayer kid from the Raiders that he's getting chopped around at 23 years old. So, I mean, are they interested in that? So I don't think you can afford to lose Goedert unless you have a big, valuable plan behind it. But
I mean, you got nobody right now. Like, because I've had a couple people reach out to me and say, well, you know, we waited too long with Ertz to trade him, which is true. But the difference between the Ertz situation is that they had Goedert waiting in the wings. You literally have nobody. And who, you know, okay, assuming maybe they draft the guy, you know, okay, but is the rookie going to be ready to come in right away and be the starting tight end? Do they go for a Kyle Pitts? Like, you know, do they go for that Mayer kid? I don't know. To me, the Goedert thing, I don't think it makes any sense right now. Like, why create a hole that you don't need unless you go out and get somebody first? But that would once again have to be a post June 1st cut. And then I don't even know what you save. So I that's another thing that I tend to think isn't going to happen. I think maybe they shop them around, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, me neither.
You know, Justin Wright, David Super Chat goes, do you think Pickett will stay? I do. I think Pickett will be here one more year. Unless they get a good offer from somebody for him, and then they would trade him. But I don't see him going unless they get a trade,
Yeah.
Sewell Blaze, David Super Chat goes, yo, what's going on?
What's up, Sewell?
I mean, what do you think? Do you think this? Jeff McClain was reported, so it came from somewhere. Do you think? Do you think they're trying to get rid of Goedert?
I don't know if I believe it 100%, but they got to do something with that contract, regardless if something's got to happen. That cap number is too much for the Eagles, and for a guy that's missing 5 to 8 games a season, it's just his deal in 26 is it's off the book. So I don't like you're just to give away to just trade him away and not have. I don't know if with the backup plan, if the draft is going to be a backup plan while Calcaterra is still here, then I don't know. I'm not sure.
Calcaterra can't block though. I know he can't block. If you're going to get rid of Goedert, you essentially need 2 tight ends. You do. And then what are you going to do? Have a guy that can only go out and catch the ball and then put your blocking tight end when you want to run? I just don't think there's an opening to do that. Tortiville says, Eagles need a tight end that can block and catch well. Yeah, they can't just get past the catch. I agree. I just don't know what they're thinking, So, we'll see. Dad says, telling you right now, if Tyler Warren makes it to 20, look, if Tyler Warren gets up to 20, I'm with you. I would trade up. I would trade up too. I'd have no problem with that. But I don't know, man. I don't think he's getting past 13. So, we'll see. We'll see. And to me, he's I follow the other tight ends. There's nobody that really excites me except for Warren.
Yeah,
really.
True.
Not that the guys are bad, but I don't know that they're ready to come in and start right away. Do you want Hendrickson? Yeah, I'm totally okay with Hendrickson. Hendrickson, I would consider as one of my big 3 targets. Myles Garrett, Hendrickson, and Landry, I would say,
Yeah.
Go Birds, favorite super chat. He goes, give me Hendrickson for a second and a fifth. The things he'd do on a good defense would be scary. He was the only contributor on that all-time bad Cincinnati. Yeah, I agree. He is 30. He'll give you a good 2 or 3 years, I think. And, a guy had 17 and a half sacks, I think, last year. 17 the year before. He's a hell of a player. For a second or late second, do it.
That's a steal.
Yeah. I have no problem with it. I feel like the Eagles are going to get themselves the pass rusher they need. I feel like that our chances of getting a pass rusher, an all-star pass rusher, have gone up a lot. Our chances have skyrocketed with all these things that have happened in the last week.
True.
Justin Ryan, David Super Chat goes, what do you think teams will give us for Hurts? Just wondering. They'd have to give me 5 first-round picks. That's what they would have to give. They'd have to give, what would you give a franchise quarterback? You'd have to give me 3 number ones at minimum. And I still probably wouldn't do it. I have no interest in trading Hurts, okay? And we can segue into Slay and his comments after I read this super chat. Mark Boogie David super chat. He goes, would you all sign Landry and or Chase Young on 1-year prove-it deals, then trade for Hendrickson? I wouldn't do both. I wouldn't trade for Hendrickson and get Landry. I don't think you need to do that. I think you need one all-pro, one veteran that can play. And then I think you should draft one early. That's what I would do. Because you got to remember, Jalen Hunt's still there. You still got Nolan Smith. Those guys got to play. So I wouldn't do all that.
No,
what about you?
And Chase Young, I have no interest. I mean, he's not the same player he used to be. And
No.
what is he really worth in a trade? Like, I wouldn't give up anything for him. Chase Young would definitely not be on my radar, no doubt.
Yeah. Private, thank you for the super chat. He goes, I wouldn't trade for Hendrickson if I can't get a contract done. You'd be wasting a second or a third for only 1 year. Plus, he might want Crosby-like money. I'm sure he's going to want Crosby-like money. That I expect him to, you know. For 1 year, yeah, I would do it. I would do it. I understand what you're saying, though. I definitely understand what you're saying. But I would do it only because I would believe that Jalen Hunt is going to be ready to take over after that year. That would be my thinking. But I understand where you're coming from with that, you know.
Yeah.
Betty Taylor says, 500, where's all the money coming from with these players you want? Where do they always come from? Did Eagles have, what do they have, 20 million under the cap? The Eagles have plenty of money under the cap to do it. You know, the way they set up these contracts, you know, only Dallas is stupid enough to do what they do. Most teams know that you can give up front money. You can give signing bonus money. I mean, if you look at the Zack Baun contract, what is he making? I think he's $4 million against the cap this year.
Yeah,
it's not that much money. So you can set it up where you give, you know, they can set it up so it fits in the cap. They do it all the time. This is the one thing that's so funny. We hear this all the time. The Eagles aren't going to be able to do this. How are the Eagles going to get Saquon Barkley? How are they going to get AJ? How are you going to do all this? And then they do it. They do it, and then they backload the contracts. And then what do when they get to the end of this contract? They restructure them. Howie is fine with that. But the Eagles have enough money to make one move, to make one significant move with these guys. So I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, even with Barkley's extension, I think his cap number from this year went from like 14 to 7, something like that. So, you know, you're always messing. We knew they were going to mess with contracts. I mean, I think they can mess with more contracts. I mean, I still think they can mess with Hurts. They could do. There's plenty of other things they could do to free up some more cap.
Mark, remember for 13 months. Thanks so much. He goes, we will need draft picks. Hold on, unless you have an opportunity to get a defensive player of the year, then I think you got to think about it.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, if you want to simply hold on and just add a pass rusher that's good, that will come in, produce, and help your defense, Landry's perfectly out there. You know what I mean?
True.
No doubt about it. Gotti Denver Super Chat goes, I'm not gonna lie, I want Becton back. He deserves it back. I would like Becton back too. But I honestly don't know what's gonna happen with that. So I mean, we'll just have to wait. We'll have to wait and see. Justin Denver Super Chat goes, 3 round 1 picks for 3 years in a row for Hurts. Well, I wouldn't trade Hurts, but in that hypothetical, which is a very hypothetical question, it would be minimum 3 first-round picks. See, to me, Hurts is a Super Bowl champion MVP. Hurts is a winner. How many other quarterbacks in this league right now can say that? You know, I'm sorry, but the guy's a winner. He's played best games of his career on the biggest stages. He's played in 2 Super Bowl games against the Chiefs. He's played absolutely fantastic. So to me, there's Mahomes, and then who else we got? Who else is in this league right now currently has won a Super Bowl? Stafford, right? He won one.
We should ask Slay.
And then Hurts. Yeah, well, then Slay said that, Slay didn't have him in his top 5. And you know, we'll just jump into that. I mean, look, I think Hurts is a top 5 quarterback in this league. I do. And I think he's also one of the most clutch. I don't know what Slay was thinking, like why he said that. Like I get, like, being honest. Okay, I would have understood if he said, well, I'm not going to put my boy Jalen Hurts in there because you know what I think about him, but here are my other guys. I would have got that. But it just seemed like, I don't know. Do you think he's upset he's leaving or something?
No, he's just stupid. He can't. He's stupid. I can't believe we're talking about this again, bro. We just won a Super Bowl. We should have nothing to deal with when it comes to any type of drama. And he goes into these interviews and like he just digs the hole himself. He digs his own grave. He puts himself in a corner, man. Like he thinks like that's not going to happen. Like he talks about the other 5 quarterbacks he talked about. Oh, they're in their own eliteness. It's like what? It's like, bro, like these guys don't even reach Super Bowls. Besides Mahomes, they don't even reach Super Bowls. Some of them can't even get into the playoffs, and some of them can't even win a playoff game at this point. You know what I mean? Like you just got a ring on your finger, dude. Like, why would you do that? Then Devontae Smith, Odell Beckham is better than Devontae Smith, and then
oh yeah, what?
I mean,
I'm sorry.
Obviously like the Eagles, like they released him, they freed up $4.3 million in cap space, like, and his price is really steep right now. He was playing GTA 5 with a
Commanders fan,
and he's like, come to the Commanders, we can win one this year. He's like, if the price is right. He
has no problem.
I'm just tired of it, dude. Like why do that?
And then talk about the defensive leaders and not even mention C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who's the heart and soul of your defense. I'm sorry.
Blankenship?
I mean, come on.
I love Reed Blankenship, but come on now. Like,
yeah. Oh, Slay, man. Slay was like, he was going out. He was wreaking havoc on the way out or something, dude. I think it's just, look, I like Slay, appreciate what he did, but I don't need to bring him back, dude. I don't need to.
If he was some big leader for us, and Slay is well respected, but if he was some big time, when I leave, I was, what did he do in 23 when the 49ers were coming through our pregame warm up and pushing Bradbury? Did he hold players accountable? Did he go out there and no, like he went through the motions. He's a player that goes through the motions. And then when things are going good, he'll step up. But, just because, guys lead by example in different ways. Like Fletcher Cox, like he was a lead by example guy, not a rah-rah type, leader. And that's perfectly fine. But Chauncey Gardner-Johnson has been the difference maker to this team, at least mentally. And
definitely,
that's what we were missing. And he's like, what did you guys, the last veteran, because Slay thinks you need some old veteran, to become a leader. And everyone could step up. Anybody could step up as a leader. And Chauncey kind of was like, who was the last veteran at safety? Who's the last veteran that signed at safety? That was supposed to be the leader that got us kicked out of the wild card round, and that was Kevin Byard. So I was trying to figure out who he was talking about. Somebody was like Kevin Byard. I was like, bro, I don't even remember. Like that was like
he did nothing. No, he did not.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he did nothing. Yeah, it was weird, man. It was weird. Paul Feder, David Super Chat goes, cut Slay, sign Rodgers, sign Burke, BG Stain. Well, Brandon Graham, we'll see if he retires or not. Obviously, if he decides to come back, they'll sign him. Orrin Burks, we'll see. He's looking for a starting job. So we'll see about him. I would love to bring him back. And then Isaiah Rodgers, I'm all for it. I would bring Isaiah Rodgers back, and I would have him and what's his face battle it out for starting spot.
So then we got news, I think this morning on the cornerbacks, situation for the Eagles. Since all this stuff is happening with Slay now, and whether he's going to come back, I don't even know. I don't know if I'm even welcoming it at this point, if he's going to be too expensive. But now there's been rumors of the New York Giants are in the cornerback market right now. Isaiah Rodgers, and this is from one of their beat writers that came out with this news today, that Isaiah Rodgers probably will be on their radar. So he's going to have so he'll definitely have some interest. So I mean, what if you can't get Slay back, and obviously with Slay coming back, if he does come back, they got to have a backup there, because the guy's in the blue tent 4 or 5 times a game. The playoffs, he was fine, but you can't even get Rodgers in the building. Like, what do you do? I mean, we know that Ringo, at this point, like Ringo, we're not saying he's bad, we're not saying he's great, but he just hasn't played enough. I mean, he hasn't had the opportunity yet. So
yeah, I mean, me personally, is I would like to see Rodgers come back, and then I would let Rodgers and Ringo battle it out for a starting spot. But we'll see. I mean, look, dude, why not go out and get Asante Samuel Jr.? I mean, it costs you a little bit, but I mean, I like him, especially as my number 2 corner, or the other option is they're going to kick out Eugene to the outside and they're going to draft a safety slot corner guy. And that's why they're looking at all those guys. That's the only other option I can think of. I wouldn't be surprised if Slay comes back, though. I really wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Alfredo Davis because MJ will be ready for the start of the season. We will see. Sorry, the Eagles season. Should be. Justin Davis Super Chat goes, didn't CJ Gardner-Johnson put Hurts down when he left with Lamar? I don't remember that. I don't remember him saying anything about Jalen Hurts. I know that he had his beef with the fans, but I don't think he ever said anything about Lamar. About Jalen Hurts.
No, he never talked about Hurts.
No, I've never heard him ever say anything about bad about any of the teammates. Even when Slay took a shot at him during the season, remember on the Micah Parsons podcast, he took a shot because Parsons was like, I don't even know who CJ Gardner-Johnson. Remember? And Slay went in there and he was laughing about it and stuff.
Oh man.
And CJ Gardner-Johnson said, hey, we're in the season. We're a team. We're locker room. It's not gonna come in here and distract us. And CJ was the better man in that situation.
Yeah, dude, all the distractions, like, I mean, what players are, I understand he's trying to like have his own opinion and stuff, but dude, you're not some Joe Schmo that has a 9 to 5 every single day. He's got fame to his name and he's an NFL celebrity. Anything that you say, and they don't like, Eagle fans hate when you're doing a podcast with Micah Parsons in season. What other guys on this team are doing podcasts like that with guys during the season, and they're more focused on other things. Putting your accolades down on Twitter when you lose a game to defend yourself, when Seth Joyner like challenged the cornerbacks and was like, they're not physical enough, they don't hit enough, and Slay is just like, I thought I had a pretty good game, I don't hit like that. I don't hit like that anymore. I'm at my age. I'm like, there's just, dude, we've been down this road a million times, and it turns me off, dude. It just does.
Yeah. I hear you. D. Hart Williams, David Super Jacobs, top 5 quarterbacks: Mahomes, Lamar, Allen, Burrow, and Hurts. Yeah, I agree. Hurts is in there. I would say the most clutch quarterbacks also would be Mahomes and Hurts.
He should be second.
Yeah, I think I would have Mahomes. I think I would have Mahomes, Allen, Hurts, Burrow, Lamar, or Lamar and then Burrow. That would be my top. I would have him 3. I'm sorry, but he wins and he wins Super Bowls, man. He's been to 2. I don't care what people say, dude. He does his job.
It's crazy.
I love Blankenship. Come on, CJ is a tone setter. Smack your mouth with a smile. I like Blankenship too, but how can you say CJ is not a leader on that team? I just don't agree with that. I mean, especially if you look at the guys that got up and spoke the night before the Super Bowl. CJ Gardner-Johnson, man. CJ Gardner-Johnson. I don't think it's a coincidence that he's here, we go to the Super Bowl. He leaves, we choke. He comes back, we win the Super Bowl. Justin Davis Super Chat goes, BG needs to retire. What do you think? I mean, I think that Brandon Graham could play one more year. I think he's capable of playing one more year. But it's got to be in a limited role. He's not going to be a starter anymore. He's got to rotate in. And, he's not going to get as many snaps. But I think in that situation, yeah, he could do that. And if he retires, I look at Khalil Mack as coming in and doing something like that. But I don't want to. I want these guys like Jalen Hunt and I want those guys to get most of the snaps.
Yeah, and I think Nolan Smith will probably be missing some of the offseason program with the triceps injury. So I think Jalen Hunt is going to get worked. He's going to get some work in, a lot of work in, during training camp. So they might add somebody else, and we're just going to wait for it. So
Yeah. Attack of the hemorrhoids. Thank you for super chat. Anyone who is in Slay's wife's DM begging for free tickets should keep their mouth shut on the Slay situation. That being said, I'm going to laugh my ass off when we have the number one pass defense again and repeat without Slay. So you're ready for Slay to go. I didn't know anything about the DMs and giving asking for tickets. So
yeah, no idea.
Fabio David Super Chat goes, why do we always play the Bucks at Tampa? I don't know. That's a great question. We're playing them again.
Yeah.
Again. I know. I don't know. And thank you for Super Chat. Don't get it. I don't know. 40-22, Philly Sports says, keep DeJean in the slot. Let Ringo start, the last of the Georgia boys that deserve a chance. He was a part of the greatest college defense in football. Let him be a part of it in the NFL. I'm with you. I want Cooper in the slot. And I would bring Isaiah Rodgers back. I mean, they could do that before the tampering period. And they could do that and just, bring him in and let him compete with Ringo. But, we'll see what their plan is, Justin David Super Chat goes, CJ commented something online choosing Lamar over Hurts. I know nothing. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
He might. I mean, he. If that was when he was with the Lions, he was with the Lions, and he was just really hurt not being here, and it definitely seemed like it. But this is a different story. You're coming off a Super Bowl, and you're falling into this media trap that literally is going to take everything that you say, twist everything that you say. It's like either he feels like he could say whatever he wants, and sometimes you have to be a you gotta come up with the PR statements. You have to say what you really have to say, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. Shane O'Mac, welcome. I don't know. Is this
it's you. I think you.
Welcome to Dingbat Nation, my man. Thank you so much for joining. Philly, is the news that Goedert won't be on the roster 2025, or they just don't want to extend him and let him play his contract out? Well, no, the news was that there's a good chance that he's not going to be on the roster next year, that they're going to cut him. So I don't get that, where that's coming from. But that was reported. That was Jeff McClain that said that. So I don't know what's up with that. And I still don't understand how they're going to go about doing that. If they are, they've got to have a plan for the tight end that I assume as soon as free agency starts or as soon as the new season starts, we're going to start seeing them do something, because I just don't think they're going to draft a tight end and let Goedert go and then start the rookie tight end. I just don't think that's the case. So they've got to have a plan, or they've got to, if that's the case. But I think, people forget, and I said this earlier, because I had some people, because I talked about this the other day in my video, and people said, well, we waited too long with Ertz. We don't want to make that mistake again. And I get it. But the thing is, when you had Ertz, the reason why you need to move him earlier was because you had Goedert. You don't have anybody backing him up. If we had a young stud tight end, the kid out of Georgia, right, that went to the Raiders, if he would have went to Philly in that draft, I would understand it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he didn't. So it's just I don't know. I don't know if I'd buy. Maybe they have a plan and they want to do their plan, but I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it. To be quite honest with you. Now let me see here. Where are we? Keep building on these young guys. Keep building on these young guys is the move. Seeing how they starts, they want to keep. Yeah, I agree. You got to keep that going. Agreed. Robbie Davis Super Chat, he goes, edge rusher, free agent from the Giants, played with Carter and Nolan at Georgia. D-line team. Chemistry is cheap. What's his name? Ojulari, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I mean, I saw his name connected to the Eagles. I did. So could that be something that they do? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's not impossible.
No.
Yeah. I mean, look, the truth of the matter is they don't even need like a superstar for their team. I mean, they could get by with somebody who's just effective and they're going to be just fine. So maybe him, I don't know. I mean, I'm not opposed to Josh Sweat coming back either, to be honest with you, if that's the way they want to go. Who do you like better? Who do you think's a better pass rusher? Who would you rather have, Harold, whatchamacallit, or Landry, or Josh Sweat?
Oh, I mean, if I was just a pick right now, it'd probably be Josh Sweat. I mean, why? He would just, he would just ascend us even more. I mean, he's already been here. He won a Super Bowl with us. I mean, I think he would have a great season. Resigning Josh Sweat. I mean, I thought earlier it was a huge possibility where he wanted to be in a good situation. But obviously they're going to be way out of the price range because he's, the market's going to get crazy now. So,
Well, I mean, did you see what's their face got for? I mean, Crosby got by the Raiders. I mean, it's crazy, right? I mean, that's crazy.
I know.
Let's see here. Paul, thank you for Super Shake. Goes, usually the road to the Super Bowl video is it out yet? No, I don't think that comes out till like August, right before
late
training camp.
Yeah, he'll come out later.
Yeah. Justin, thank you for Super Chat. Who's the greatest tight end in the league now? The greatest tight end? I actually think the best tight end is the kid in the Raiders, Brock Bowers. I think I know he's a rookie, but geez, man, do you see the numbers that kid put up? I think he's the best tight end. And we talked about getting him. That would have been like if the Eagles had gotten him, all right, then yeah, get rid of Goedert. I get it. Shane O'Mac, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, thanks for having me, brother. Joined Joey's channel last night. Started following both of you for a while. Just forgot to join. So I made a priority to join the channel. So keep it up, gents. Thank you, Shane, man. We appreciate that, man. We appreciate that support, man. Definitely do, man. Thank you so much. Lewis, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, we have too many guys to resign in the next couple of years. That means we can't keep drafting this good, as we're saying. We will have to use these picks in trades for players now and picks in the future. Well, I agree that some of your draft picks are expendable, I think, because you have picked so well. You have all these contracts coming up all at the same time, all these extensions. If there was ever a time to trade like for a Myles Garrett, it's right now. This is the time to do it.
Yeah.
Because, dude, look at all the picks over the last 3-4 years. You're having to resign Dean, Cam Jurgens, Jordan Davis, Devontae. Like, you have to sign all these guys at once. So, I actually agree with that. I agree. It's going to be an interesting week next week.
Yeah, and I think, Howie Roseman likes to move up and down the draft as well, and not only, garnish, moves for us to make this for this season, but making like trades like during the draft, like pick for next season in 26 for the season after. I mean, the Eagles should have now like 3 third-round picks for 26 and 2 fourth-rounders. So they already got a lot of ammo going into 26, and they could get more ammo going into 26. You know what I mean? So you could afford to, have some turnover, let some guys walk, and next off season will be a different thing. We'll have a lot more pieces that are going to get more, there's going to be more guys. We just have to, we just got to keep producing. That's what it comes down to.
I mean, I can tell you already that the draft we just had last year, all top 3 picks are all getting extensions. They're all getting extensions. They've already are. Q's getting one. DeJean will get one. Hunt will get one when the time comes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's just the way everything's setting up. Boom,
If Shipley has a good year, if Shipley's the second running, the running back behind Saquon, he has it and he's good. That's another pick that's going to work out for us too. I mean, that's a killer draft, no doubt.
Yeah, Clarkson, I agree. Dean and Davis should be incredibly affordable. Oh, they are. They are. They are.
Oh, yeah.
There's no doubt about it. Let me see here. I clicked off somebody's comment by accident. I don't know who's. Oh, it's Philly D. I'm sorry about that. He's a Goddard had injuries, but he's much more than a pass catching tight end. He is, and like I said, I just don't know who you're going to replace him with. Like, you don't have anything to replace him with. So until they go out and get somebody else, I don't know, and I don't necessarily feel good about drafting a tight end unless it's Warren and plugging him in, starting him right away. So to me, I don't think Goddard is going anywhere. But, who knows? We will see,
Yeah.
That's just, Goddard can't stay on the field. He can't. And it sucks that every year he can't make it through the year. But damn, he was good in the playoffs. He was going to the Super Bowl. He was good down the stretch. When he's on the field, he's good. But we need him on the field. I do think we need another tight end. We definitely need another tight end. But I don't know that I'm ready to get, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to move on right now and totally draft somebody early. I don't know if that's the case, but
it just seems like you're creating a hole that's not there right now. I'd rather give him a 2-year extension, and get some cap space if you want to do that or something. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Bonzology says, watch a tape on Milton and Sweat. We're one-on-one constantly because of Carter's double teams. By that standard, Milton's season was just good, not great. Yeah, well, I think Jalen Carter makes everybody better. I mean, there's no question. I mean, and Ajomo, too. I mean, Ajomo looked really good this year, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Good. Yes, he did.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see. Cranky Cletus, welcome to Dingbat Nation, my man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Harry says, I'm fine with getting rid of Goddard. Should get the Fanning kid from Bowling Green. I mean, but do you feel comfortable putting a tight end from Bowling Green at starting tight end right away, day one?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, why not get the kid and keep Goddard, let the kid develop under Goddard, and then get rid of him? That's plus, like I said, you're talking about what was $11 million in cap hit, so you can't make that move till after June 1st, right? So after June 1st, and what happens by the time you get into June and July, teams spend all their cap money. They spend all it. They don't have money to go trading for guys, and you get you lose value. That's why I think the Browns are going to. I mean, they're going to lose all their value if they wait and let the Myles Garrett thing drag out.
Yeah, because teams that acquire Garrett can't get him through a normal offseason program to get these guys prepared. So it's like, bro, you want to charge me all these picks? You want to charge me, and then I have to give this guy a new contract, and we're getting him 2 weeks before the season starts. Like, it's you gotta be fair with that.
That's why you see like the free agents, like older guys that don't get signed by the draft. Like, you'll have the free agents. We're gonna have the free agent frenzy. Teams are gonna sign players, and then you're gonna get the players who are older veterans that don't sign anywhere. And then they're gonna get to the draft and they still don't sign anywhere. And then all of a sudden, none of them are gonna sign with anybody, and they're all gonna wait till training camp because teams spend their money, they draft their picks, and then there's less teams that are interested, so they hold out. And I think you're going to see that again. That's why I don't really understand the whole Goddard thing, to be honest with you. But I mean, we'll see. Attack of the Hemorrhoid, David Super Chat. He goes, according to Jack GPT, Grok 3, and Claude Sonnet, Jalen Hurts is the number 3 on the top quarterback. Top 5 quarterback. How do the robots have more common sense on this topic? Yeah, that's a great question, man. I don't know, but I just think people get infatuated with numbers and how many passing touchdowns people are throwing. But the truth of the matter is, once you get to the playoffs, all the quarterbacks, they try to play more like Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is playing playoff football all season long. And that's the truth. And
they're not winners in the playoffs. Like that's
no.
we put Mahomes in front.
Perfect example. Well, agree. Herbert he goes out, throws 4 interceptions in one game.
Yeah, Jordan Love throws 3. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Pitts can't run too well either. Are you talking about Kyle Pitts? Or are we talking about Pittsburgh, the armpits? Because I the Steelers, man, that I'm not big on their running back, dude.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not.
That's the fastest running back in the league.
Yeah. Who? Oh God. Rich Eisen.
What do you call him?
Rich Eisen. Rich Eisen. You ever see Rich Eisen run the 40 at the combine? That's what he looks like.
Najee.
Daniel Son says he can't run. He can run. Oh, you're talking about Kyle Pitts. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the Eagles would have to go out and get a tight end to make me think that Goedert's expendable. I don't think they're going to do it, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I don't think there's any rush, Yeah, Najee Harris, he looks like he's in slow motion. It's really true. I predicted Herbert has a huge year next year. Yeah, he's going to have a great regular season. I mean, the guy had only 3 interceptions. The whole playoff game, right? All they talked about was the guy had 3 interceptions all year. And he threw 4 in the game.
Yeah, 4 in one game. Yeah.
Come on. As soon as the pressure goes, as soon as everything tightens up and defenses play you tougher, as soon as you get to playoff football, these quarterbacks' passing numbers all come way down, and then they all stink. Jalen Hurts stays consistent. Herbert's gonna have a great year next year, and then he's gonna choke in the playoffs.
As usual.
It's true. The Bills are gonna be great all year, and then Josh Allen's gonna have to go to Kansas City and he's gonna lose again. It's all they do. Dak Prescott is gonna choke. It's going to happen. D. Hart Williams, David Super Chat. He goes, once again, I agree with 500. My correct top quarterbacks as follow: Burrow, Hurts, Lamar, and Allen. Yeah, I mean that sounds. I would the 2-3.
Where is Burrow even second? Why is Burrow even second?
I would put. See, I might put Hurts second, dude. I know it's crazy, but I think Mahomes got 3 Super Bowls. I'll give him 1. He won an overtime Super Bowl. He showed that he could be clutch. Allen hasn't sniffed a championship game. Has he? Well, he hasn't sniffed the Super Bowl. Burrow went to a Super Bowl.
And haven't Burrow hasn't. Yeah, Burrow went to a Super Bowl and they haven't been in the playoffs since. That's what I'm saying. You're either Super Bowl, playoffs, Super Bowl. I mean, that's what it is every year for this team. Yeah. That's what it is. I mean,
think about it. I mean, look at all the teams right now in the league, and look at the starting. What starting quarterbacks have won a Super Bowl? Right, because Brady was getting a Super Bowl every other year. So, if you look at the guys who won Super Bowl, who's won Super Bowls as starters? I only can think of 3 quarterbacks: Mahomes, Stafford, and Hurts. Who else? Am I missing something?
Yeah.
But, I mean, Hurts has been to 2 Super Bowls. That used to mean something. It used to be hard to get to 1 Super Bowl, let alone get to 2. And then he goes and he beats the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't understand the disrespect. Yeah, Russell Wilson won 1. You're right. Russell Wilson. Yeah, he won Super Bowl. But he's old now. I mean, that was years ago. But yeah,
Aaron, Aaron Rodgers won 1. All the
Rodgers won 1. Yeah. But those guys are on the they're on the back.
Yeah, I know.
Career,
no, I get
you know what I'm saying? They're not they're not. I mean, Stafford still, I think, can play at a high level. I don't know that. I think Russell and which one, huh?
He was tough. I mean, that playoff game.
That was the toughest
game. Tough game.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. Russell and Rodgers have, and they're at the end of the career. I mean, we don't even know where Rodgers is going to end up, and then either with Russell. So to me, those guys are they've won, but they're at the back end. But if you look at guys in their prime, there's only 3 that I can think of that that have won. So it's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talking about old, I'm still surprised about Geno. Is he 34? Jeez.
That's why I was really confused on why they gave up a 3rd-round pick for him. A 3rd-round pick for a 3rd. And then it says they have their I think Rapport put out, they have their quarterback of the future. I'm like, bro, how many more years do you think Geno has? Like, I mean, a third round pick is actually a pretty good pick for Seattle, but now Seattle has no quarterback now. They got nobody.
Yeah. Left Coast Eagles says, stop acting like RG3 2.0 walks on water. We're not talking about Jaden Daniels at all. We haven't even brought his name up. Because I know you're not saying that Jalen Hurts is RG3 2.0. Because that's just way incorrect.
I don't know what the hell that even.
Rodgers is 40 years old. He's done.
He might go to the Giants right now. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who their quarterback's going to be.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're saying Rodgers might be the Giants are apparently interested in Rodgers. That GM is so worried about his job. And then the Seattle might be interested in Rodgers. Rodgers is at the end. He's at the end of his career, dude. He's done. Russell Wilson's done. Robbie Williams, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, Geno is to coach Shador. Watch. Yeah, you might be right. He might mentor him. Might be right. No crap. It's well. Anyways, guys, Joe, is there anything else you want to say before we get out? Because I just realized I'm so late. I was supposed to be somewhere at 6.
No, I think we covered everything, dude. We went through the free agents. We went through this, at least some of the, the extensions and what we've been happy about. And we got like a few more days left, and we'll see what else the Eagles do. We'll be ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah, well, guys, we're going to get out of here. Free agencies next year. I forgot I was supposed to be somewhere at 9 o'clock Eastern. It's 9:30 now, so I'm actually running late, and I'm going to have to jump out. But great conversation, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. Jack, thank you for Super Chat on the way out. He goes, Hurts is getting too much credit for what a totally loaded Eagles team accomplished. Yeah, well, I mean, I have to respectfully disagree because – you still have to go and play the games. You have to make the throws. You have to do that. In that Super Bowl, they weren't running the ball. It wasn't like Barkley who had 150 yards. He had to make the throws. And we've seen good teams with, teams that have really good teams. We've seen quarterbacks completely choke in those positions. So I think he's got to get more credit than that. Just in my opinion, I respectfully, I hear what you're saying. I respectfully disagree. I respect your opinion, but I just think that he's not getting enough credit, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We'll see. But anyways, Vikings are interested. Yeah, isn't that something? Favre goes to the Jets, then the Vikings, then Rodgers. So we know where the kid's going. We know where Jordan Love's going to end up. In a few years.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, we are going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much. I won't be, I don't know, Joe, you probably have anything tomorrow going on?
Yeah, I'll have content out tomorrow. Yeah, I will.
Yeah, he'll have I'm probably, you're not going to see me till Monday. So unless something big breaks. But right now, I got to get out of here because I'm totally late. But all right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Peace. I want to take a quick second to shout out to BetUS for sponsoring today's video. If you go there right now and you use promo code YouTube150, you can get 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit, 125% on your next 2 deposits, up to a $2,000 maximum. Only at BetUS.